game. Right, everyone gets a point there, and we're going to move on to a game called Expertise. Now, as we're nerds, of course, everyone is very smart in here, so one expert on each team will have a certain topic that they excel in their knowledge of, and Amy and Tom are going to assign a specific... Oh my goodness, I couldn't say that word. That's why I'm the host, not one of the clever people. They're going to assign something to... Is it Dan?
Yes.
For him to be an expert on, and he is going to talk about it, and Tari is, of course, going to grill him about his topic. Guys, can we have a topic for Dan?
Dan is, of course, the expert on that new and popular game of playing Tetris with otters dyed in rainbow colours.
Ah, yes.
Yes, okay. And Dan and Tari, can we have an expertise for Amy?
Amy is the leading expert on the physics of flying with an umbrella.
Okay. Shall we have Dan's interview, please?
Well, of course, Tetris began as a game in 1972, and it was only as recently as 2006 that the idea was hit upon that one could just as easily create this game and replicate it using brightly coloured otters.
And yes, that is psychedelic and amazing, but just describe for me and the audience exactly how you bend and rotate the otters into the shapes you want.
Through extensive yoga training, the otters can be trained to replicate the shapes of various Tetris blocks. So, for example, the L block is a yoga position known as the L, whereas the long straight block that never turns up is replicated by an otter performing the anaconda saluting the sun. And the T block is replicated by an otter with a dodgy leg.
Right, and we're all familiar with Tetris, aren't we? You complete the line and it subsequently vanishes. How exactly do these otters achieve this vanishing line awesomeness?
Well, the otters have performed the yoga to such an extent that they achieve complete enlightenment, dissolve and become one with the universe.
Yes, and could you just enlighten the audience as to how exactly you managed to dye the otters?
With Humbrol acrylic paints.
Doesn't that cause us... Wait, haven't there been complaints about this causing a variety of skin irritations in the otters?
There have been complaints that the otters get very uncomfortable skin. It causes them to itch themselves continually because of the synthetic dyes used in the paints. But actually, we find that helps them to replicate the Z blocks better because they're twisting themselves into crooked shapes.
Yes, but if they're so uncomfortable, then how can they ever hope to achieve enlightenment on the completion of a line?
The secret of true enlightenment is not to ask too many questions.
Thank you very much, Dan. You are clearly an expert. We'll move on to Amy, who is being interviewed by Tom, on her expertise of flying with an umbrella.
Of course, the wonderful art of flying with an umbrella first made popular by the ever-famous and still living Mary Poppins, who is unknown to most people, actually a real person who developed the technology herself before that very film.
Well, yes, but surely it does enlighten how good of me, but isn't there a real danger of getting hit by a plane?
Well, this is the clever thing about the umbrellas, because they actually have plane repelling technology within them, which we are currently trying to transfer to pigeons to try and save some more of those exotic birds.
Well, that certainly does sound like a big mess. But this sounds quite expensive. Like, how you want to mass market this? Is this?
Well, of course, this technology can only be used by the very professional and special, such as Mary Poppins herself, and she's being a bit of a dictator about it, to be honest. She has patented this device, and you have to undergo a rigorous interview and training process from Mary herself before you're allowed to use an umbrella.
Now, here's a question I think is on all of our listeners' lips: is why? Why can't we just, I don't know, get a plane or drive? It's a lot easier, surely.
Well, the normal everyday person might be happy with some kind of automotive device, but for those who are blessed with talents from above, such as giant bags that can hold a lampshade, there really is only one way to make an entrance, and that had to be an umbrella.
Ah, of course, very intelligent there. Right, I think final question is really, if I had to get one of these, what sort of colour do I want? Because, frankly, I don't want a nice pink one, because who does? So what do you think is probably the best way to go about this?
For you personally,
Yes, yeah,
Well,
Leslie.
we like to match our people to their umbrella colour through a giant human-sized Dulux chart. And if you just stand next to our chart there, I think you're an ochre, sir.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I know I'm a lot more enlightened about flying with umbrellas now.
I think we all are. Thanks very much, Amy, for your expertise on that. And we're giving a point to each of you there because you did wonderfully, and a point to the audience who have suggested some very nerdy topics where Ben has maybe faltered slightly in that. But it's all right, Ben. Everyone gets a first go. You'll do much better later. Right, we're going to have a bit of a song, and then afterwards the teams, which I have swapped around, are going to try to out-nerd each other in making the nerdiest film trailer ever. But first, a song. Improv Nottingham are back with their Nerds special. We have a draw currently because each of our contestants has 2 points and the audience have 1, so it's very tight. We're now going to listen to some movie trailers. Our teams have switched, so it's now Amy and Tari, Tom and Dan, and they are going to be doing the nerdiest film they could possibly advertise ever. Ben here is taking a note of all the references and nerdy things that you managed to mention in the time you have. Alright, Amy and Tari, take it away.
It was an ordinary summer. Mrs. Hodgkins was feeding her cyborg cat. But then, the impossible happened. Zombie apocalypse in space. Using their robot dragons to conquer the evil, Mrs. Hodgkins and Fluffkins take on the zombies in a battle to the death.
Take that, you horrible cretins! It's like
This summer, prepare. Into her leadership and surprising relationship with Spock, her cadet commander, Mrs. Hodgkins goes on a journey like you've never seen before.
It's like, Spock, I'm really glad I've gotten to know you. Live long and prosper, Mrs. Hodgkins.
Next time you go and see your granny, ask her what she did last summer.
Oh, congratulations. Well done, guys. That's fantastic. Ben, how did we do?
Well, I think I went a bit trigger happy with the points. I gave them 16 points.
Thank you,
A record may be set today.
And Amy gets a personal point from me because she created the term Captain Commander, her Captain Commander or something along those lines, which I found absolutely brilliant. So, Tom and Dan, can you do it? Are you nerdy enough?
We're ready.
We can take them.
All right, take it away.
Our story begins many hundreds of years ago in feudal Japan, in a training school for ninjas. But one ninja dreams of more. He sails the 7 seas, searching for buried treasure.
I am get myself some of that booty.
But he's injured. He's killed in a seafaring accident, but is then raised from the dead by an ancient curse and partially animated as a cyborg.
I am back from the dead. I shall get the treasure now.
This summer in Robot Pirate Zombie Ninjas.
In space.
In space! The adventure goes interdimensional in 4D. In 4D!
Was that the sound effect of 4D?
4D, I'm existing in 4 dimensions. Time!
Well done, good ending.
Oh, I want to see that film.
I know, right?
Fantastic film. All right, Ben, I know it was more of a... Well, the story was just a load of random words thrown in as best you could, so how did they do?
Well, for a second, it looked like Team Dom was 1 point behind Team Tammy, but then they said in 4D for a second time, putting them on par with them, so another 16 points.
Hey!
So there we go. Points go to the boys. And Ben, you get a point as well for that excellent scorekeeping.
Thank you.
Well done, you're doing well. Right, we're going to move on to our favourite Simply 60 Seconds. Sam, have you got a timer on you? Yes, he does. Oh, it has to take a moment to get out because it's just so tension building.
Tense.
So tension.
Done it? It's just so tension. That's why I'm a smart person. And you guys are the nerds. We're going to move on. Simply 60 seconds, but each of you have chosen a topic because you believe that you are geniuses in your fields. So we're going to start with Tari, and you've chosen Doctor Who to start off with. Off you go.
Doctor Who is Britain's longest running sci-fi drama. It has been running almost as long as Coronation
Bazinga.
Street. No!
Repetition of
Running!
Yes, well done, Amy. That's a point for you, but there was no reason to shove Tari so heavily.
I got a little bit excited.
All right, take it
Broke my
away.
arm, Amy.
Doctor Who is about a man who is inappropriate.
Objection.
Yes.
It's not about a man. He's
Also,
a Time Lord.
also, we're not doing the movie trailers anymore, Amy. There's no need to use the dramatic voice.
It's my normal voice.
Oh, it adds such tension. All right, Tom, take it away.
The Doctor's had many companions over the years. Some have been very good, like Amy Pond. Some have not been so good, mainly because...
Hey!
Tari.
Repetition of the word some and have been.
And good.
Yeah, that wasn't the best go, was it, Tom? Right, we'll move on to Tari. Off you go.
The Doctor is famed for being just a madman with a box, as can be seen in various episodes. For example, the episode when he first
Wait.
falls out of the TARDIS.
Oh.
Oh, dear.
Repetition of episode.
What?
Episodes.
Oh, it's
Uh-huh.
By the judge.
All right,
How about
Tari.
you?
Curse you, Sam.
That's a point for you, Tari, for incorrect interruption, and take it away again.
His best assistant to date, I think, has been Donna Noble, mainly because she didn't want to get with him, which was a breath of fresh air for all fans.
Objection.
Hey!
Tom.
Hesitation.
Right, okay, take it away. Go.
The Doctor's gone to many different places in the universe. Some have been really exciting, and then there've been places like...
Bazinga. Repetition of places.
Well
I'm
done,
not good
Amy.
at this.
Point for you, and you have 11 seconds remaining.
I preferred it when the Doctor wore a scarf because he looked more distinguished and kooky.
Hey!
Beam me up.
I'm not sure who that was. Radio Men? Tom.
Well, hesitation again.
Ooh. Are you sure she wasn't just being tension?
I think I was
she
being
just hadn't
tension.
She was being quite tension.
Yeah, we're going to go with... Oh, high waistcoat! Okay. Amy, we're going to continue. You have 6 seconds, and you get an extra point for an incorrect interruption.
Although I am quite partial to the bow tie, which looks quite cool. The Doctor Who...
There we go. And that's a point for Amy. Well done, well done. Amy is so far in the lead with 6. Tari is on 4. Dan, you're on 3. Tom, you're on 5. Ben, you're on 1. So you're able to play this game.
I don't have a.
A buzzer?
Buzzer.
Well, just think of one. Speed. Well, we'll see how that goes. Amy, you can start. And your topic, could you enlighten the audience, please?
my topic is professional wrestling.
All right. Your minute starts now.
Professional wrestling is arguably the coolest sport/entertainment that has ever existed. Men wear small shorts or briefs and fight each other in a ring which they bounce off. There are fireworks, rock music, dramatic storylines, people hitting each other with chairs, though they have to turn the screen black and white if there's blood because that's inappropriate for children. They often have cool names such as Stone Cold Steve Austin, so called because he is cold, presumably.
Hey!
Dan?
Repetition of cold.
That's correct, but how did she do? She did 31 seconds. Ooh. Well done, Amy. That almost broke our record for simply 60 seconds. All right, Dan, continue.
Wrestling has recently become very famous in the public eye because it has been discovered that previous winner of The Apprentice, Ricky Martin, is a wrestler in his spare time. And they indeed played some footage of him witnessing the fitness, as he said in his own words, on the You're Fired version of that show, when he bounced off a ring in his tiny little shorts and missed another man completely, landing on his back in the middle of the ring.
Bazinga!
Beam me up.
Oh.
Repetition of ring.
Oh, he's good. Oh, it's good.
All right, Amy.
So close.
That's a point for you, and you have 2 seconds remaining. Off you go.
I never regret watching wrestling. It's the...
There we go. Another point for Amy. She's doing insanely well. Well done, Amy. Well done.